Hello, so my guest today is a Feng Shui consultant and Chinese astrologer, and she helps people with their relationships, but also to make money.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Janine Lowe.
Hi. Hi. Yeah. People say, oh, you're really good at helping people make relationships. And I said, but I'm actually good at making the wealth because in their charts, yeah, when I have readings and that, I can see wealth and I tell them how to do it. So that's why
Awesome.
people love me.
I'm sure there's more than one reason. That obviously was again a brief introduction. You just sort of said a little bit more about yourself. So please do tell the listeners more about you, what you do, how you help, obviously, and then about your book as well, because I didn't mention in your introduction that you are also an author.
Yeah, so I started as an intuitional person. You have to find a way that you can use your intuition. And one of my best friends said, "Well, learn Feng Shui." So I did. I
Okay.
learned with a very lovely master, and it was amazing. He was very woo-woo, yeah. And I felt there was more to Feng Shui, and I started working with Joey Yap, who is a metaphysics Chinese astrologer. And I think I started working with him in 2005, and
Mhm.
it just all fell into place because people I need to know there's a backup behind anything, because when you start to talk to people, say, oh, I'm a Chinese astrologer, and they go, oh yeah, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. So I say, give me your date of birth and I'll tell you something about yourself, and they're like,
Okay.
how did you know that? But from your actual date of birth, using metaphysics, it's called Bazi in Chinese astrology, you can actually tell so much about somebody. So I always wanted to write a book, ever since I was, I don't know, however long. And in 2001, I had a major car accident and I had to learn to read and write again.
Okay.
And it sort of was like a weird sort of awakening that I had to
Mm.
write a book. So I learned everything about Chinese astrology, learned anything about all the different Chinese animals, because whatever year you're born in, you're a certain type of person,
Mhm.
and you come with qualities and amazing stuff that you don't even know about, right? So I delved into that world and
Okay.
studied it.
Yeah.
And I seem to be brought together by a lot of people who either wanted to have children or they wanted to meet somebody. And so I started doing their charts, and I saw like a pattern of how people, which animals got on, Chinese animals,
All right. Yeah.
people, on
Mhm.
which ones didn't get on.
Okay.
So, so that's why the book is called Date, Love, Marry, Avoid.
Right. Okay. So it's the animals that get on and that don't get on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it became really apparent to me that some people, they're attracted to each other for all the wrong reasons. And so I decided to delve into that and see why that was. It just interested me. Even
Mm.
now, I'll watch things like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and look at all the people and see how they get on, what sort of characters they are.
Hmm.
Um, and so that was my interest. So
Right.
then I wrote the book, and what I did was I wrote about all the characteristics of every Chinese animal, which there's 12. I knew all their specific colors, their auspicious days, their auspicious numbers, filled that all in on all 12 chapters. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I thought, right, I'm going to give them fun dates to go on or not dates to go on. And that's how Date, Love, Marry, Avoid came to be.
Okay. So it's just kind of accumulated and just expanded over time and ended up in this book that you've released in quite
Yeah.
a lot of detail about these relationships.
And it's so funny because obviously the book comes out on December the 8th, but I have had a number of copies which I've given to people. And I've stood in front of them, and instead of sort of reading it, they immediately go to what their partner is or whatever to see if they actually get on. Yeah. So
Yeah.
though it's a book that you can read, it gives you an answer straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, some of this is like a little bit of tongue in cheek, the dates that I put people on. Um, and often we are attracted to somebody who isn't good for us, shall we say.
Hmm.
And I just point out why it's not good. I'm not saying to you don't go out with them, because nothing's perfect in a relationship.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is this is what will irritate you.
Okay, and that's just the things to, like you said, to be aware of that may occur and are likely to occur in the relationship, which means you're not either going to be compatible or not compatible.
Yeah.
Like,
and also people say to me, oh, Janine, I don't know if I could buy your book because I've been in a relationship, I've been married or whatever, and I don't want to know that it's wrong. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. So say you were married to your opposite. Say a rooster is married to a rabbit. Yeah. Rooster's all about shiny things. Rabbit's more about family. So you sort of tend to teach each other a little bit about things. You'll still have that sort of conflict. When you read the chapters on each animal, these rooster and rabbit, you'll see the things I said to this particular person that is so nice about that person. That's probably why you have. But then when you have your conflict, it will be about what I've said.
Right. Okay.
But there's an awful lot of love in my book, by the way.
Yeah. I'm sure. I guess if we're going to marry someone, according to the title, there needs to be some kind of connection there. And your connection to, first of all, metaphysics. Please explain to the listeners what that means, and I can't recall the name that you gave it in.
Okay, so I met Joey Yap in, I think it was 2526. He came from Malaysia. He was a young lad. Didn't believe in woo-woo or anything like that. He was quite small in his world, but he's obviously massive now. So I just went along to he has something in a hotel in London, and he put up all these, I'm going to show you a bit later what these graphs,
Okay.
And he explained exactly what they meant, and they started to make sense. And I think I love woo-woo, as everybody who does. But when you're trying to get results, the right results, you need to know it works.
Yeah.
So metaphysics is like 1 and 1 makes 2. Yeah. It means there is a basis underneath it. Okay. It's not just chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what metaphysics is. And I'm not very mathematical, but when you see things, and this is what I've said I've studied, it actually works. You know that those people won't get on with whoever, or those people are going to be absolute perfect matches, of which I am a celebrant, and I have married people because of it.
Right. Okay, that's interesting as well. And your intuitiveness from your book, that's something you've been very aware of from a very early age.
Yeah. So I didn't recognize it as much as I should have done, but obviously when you're younger, if you do something wrong, your mum sends you to your room. I spent a lot of time in my room because I used to say, oh, Mum, the phone's just rung, and she'd go, no, it hasn't, and then it would ring. So that sort of thing. Yeah. And I spent my life going through and following my intuitiveness, which actually is what as I said, my friend said to me, Feng Shui, you go into a building, if it's right or wrong. Why don't you learn the art of Feng Shui? So that's what I did. But then that wasn't enough, because it's okay, having, my house is grey all the way through, and I just add colour. Yeah. And I have water features in the right place to make money and all this sort of thing. Okay. But Chinese astrology is an art that can literally change people's lives so quickly. And I've seen it. So, I would say Chinese astrology is my passion. Yes, I'm a Feng Shui consultant, and I look after businesses, and I look after people's personal homes, and I teach Feng Shui. It's like, I love it. And I loved going to different people's houses, but I see so many things change by using Chinese astrology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's excellent. So in the book, can you give us some examples? I know that you've got my date of birth, so we're going to have a look a bit more detail in how this all works out. Yeah. But is there any kind of generality?
Okay. Yes, there is. There's they call them triads. So you have tribes that get on. Everybody knows about tribes, yeah. If you're in any world. So if you are a rat, an ox, a dragon, and a monkey, right? When we put the years, we can put them up. You will naturally get on. It's just a natural thing, right? So you have those sort of triads, and often you'll find the rat talks too much, The dragon's quite mystical. The snake is very intuitive. So all those people tend to go into blocks. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you had, there's one other block, there's a few blocks, but tiger, horse, and dog, they are the animals that go out and get what's needed. Yeah.
Okay.
They actually link in together. So I know you're a dog. So you'll be looking for a tiger, someone who's born in the year of the tiger, which will feel your passion and understand you. Okay, so that's how you work out which animals go together. Plus, obviously, it's a lot deeper. And when you read the chapters, you'll see how deep a person you are. Like dogs, like spreadsheets. I'll always say that. Okay, they like to get things organized. Yeah,
Okay.
and they will not be pushed into anything until they're ready. Okay. It's got to be. People could be doing this in their air all the time, but they will not do it. They're very trustworthy. They're the sort of person you'd want in your back. They always, I always find them quite kind-hearted dogs. They try and give as much as they can, but then when they are pushed, then you go, it's like a block coming down. That's it. I've done everything I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense for me, actually. Sorry, I'm just going to have to pause it for 1 second because I need to look. Because I recognize that in myself, that generally I don't like to be told what to do, and I don't mind being guided and advised and everything, but like you said, there needs to be some kind of ducks in a row before I want to make a decision. And again, you're right, people can do only so much and then I kind of switch off. I try very hard most of the time to sort of keep people on, not give them like the benefit of the doubt type thing, you know. And I'll persevere, but like you said, when the barrier goes up, the barrier goes up, and generally I find it very difficult to let them back in again after that point.
Whereas you get roosters who can be married multiple times. Who's the one? Melanie Griffiths? Is it Melanie Griffiths who was with Don Johnson?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I think I know she's a rooster. She's been married 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And often roosters get engaged quite early and married quite early. So what it is certain animals, roosters, rabbits, horse, and rats, they're called peach blossoms, right? And people cannot help falling in love with them. They don't even know why they're falling in love with them. They walk past and they go, flowers? They just can't help themselves, yeah? So those sort of people will be engaged multiple times and also get married. So when you look at different people, I was looking at, I think Blondie is another one. You can't help loving Blondie, you just see her, the singer. So what you do is for me, this is, as I said, for me, I like to look at, at the moment, probably Strictly, and I could probably tell you who would win. If I had all their charts in front of me, I could sit and tell you who's going to win, because it's not how far they get through, it's how much the public like them.
Right, okay.
Because everyone thinks, it's their dancing, and yes, it is their dancing, but on the night you can see if you had the right couples together, like the right animals dancing together, and the day it was, you can tell who's win.
Right, okay. So it's the energy that they're giving off as a couple there, and also as an individual, that kind of resonates with the audience rather than necessarily how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not necessarily watching their feet. It's just you're just watching them.
Yeah, because like who's the tennis player? Oh, I can't remember. She, her husband passed this year, and she's making the story they're building around her makes you want her to go through. So we're looking at Cinderella here.
Okay.
Actually, if you go into her chart, she probably is. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's quite interesting. It's an interesting subject. I always ask to know people's date of birth before I talk to them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to you telling me something a bit more in depth about me, and I'm really interested and excited about it today.
Yeah.
So do you want to crack on with that now? Is that
do you want me to share your chart?
Yeah, and then we can maybe talk a little bit more about yourself and sort of significance of maybe relationships to you.
Okay.
And obviously maybe finding out what animal you are as well.
That would be interesting. You're for sure. This what I'm about to show you is it's a free app by Joey app. I want to say that out side because obviously it's his material.
Mhm.
I train with him, so everything I tell you is what he's trained me. Okay, I'm going to
Obviously,
share.
this is a podcast episode, so if you're just happy to listen, then please do listen to what Janine's got to say. There is a link in the show notes because this is also on the John Kenny Coaching YouTube channel. So if you want more of a visual experience, then please do follow the link in the show notes, and you'll be able to see exactly what Janine is showing us on the screen.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Get to all this, so it doesn't shouldn't even be there. Here we go. Okay, John, this is your chart. So this is what I want to explain about this is the starting of where I would have worked with Date, Love, Marry, Avoid.
Okay.
Because I'll be working, I don't know if you can see this, with these animals.
Yep.
So this is the year that you've been born. This is
Yeah.
the month you've been born. This is the day, but I didn't have the hour.
Okay.
So the year you're born is about your personality. The month you're born is about your career. The day you're born is about your relationship with yourself and others. And the hour you're born is to do with your wealth.
Okay.
And
I'll have to send you that for an update.
Yeah, do. And so, as I say, this is a free app with Joey. He gives it away, and it's, you know, he teaches you different things. It is a very hard subject to learn, but he has a way of teaching, which is really good.
Okay.
So it tells you lots of things. So if we move up, it says you were born under the 3 Jade Wood Star, which means you are like a tree. So you should be like a counselor. Part of your chart for me shows that you should be, I always said to you, it's a hard one to say, but police or a solicitor or something legal is all over your chart. This here, you're born in the month you're born is the Earth Rat, which means that you have a lot to say. If I had seen, I don't know if you were, but I would say you had the chance to be a DJ when you were younger.
Okay. My best friend was a DJ when I was younger.
All right. Did you help him in and out with his gear then?
I do love music, and especially dance music. So maybe there's something in there.
Yeah, there's that. So then this is the day you're born in is your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your partner. Okay. Now, relationship with yourself, because you are a goat, I'm just going to make this slightly easier. Sometimes you make it hard to make decisions because you can see both sides of a story. Okay? It's a very gentle energy. The other animals aren't as gentle, but here in a relationship, it shows to me that if you were going out with a goat, your partner was a goat, or maybe not a goat, maybe an ox, say, your clash, there would be this like stubborn stuff, you know, you both, no, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do this. But if you were going out with someone who's born in the horse year, you would end up being more best friends.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right. Okay.
So that's the sort of thing. So then we go over here and we see, when would you fall in love? And it says you would fall in love in a rat year, which was 2020-ish.
Okay.
A good month for you would also be December 6th through to January 5th, or just general rat days, because every day has an animal. So rats are really important to you. So if your partner had a rat anywhere in this chart,
yeah,
you would like them for the different reasons. If it was here, you'd like them because they were outgoing, friendly, had lots of friends.
Yeah.
If it's here, your career's matched, that sort of thing. Okay. But let's move down here where the good stuff is. Okay. All right.
I like good stuff.
So this is all
there's a lot there, isn't there?
Yes. And that's what I love about metaphysics. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you so much information for people, so that you can then help them. And this is what I used in the book, so that I would make sure that I was actually getting it absolutely as right as I possibly could. So this is your chart for this year, and it shows that you should have made you would have been self-employed because you're self thing, and you would have made money off it. Now this carries on till February the 10th next year. So even if you haven't made the money now, it's still there to be made. So going back down here, this is the gods that you were born under, and the gods are like, they have 10 different ones, and they're Joey's words. He makes them up, you know, the artist, etc. is his exclusive words. You won't find this anywhere else. It is just Joey's words. Okay. And it said you were born 88% the artist, And this is part of your character. So your perfectionist, a good listener, what else did I put? Open-minded, artistic, and creative. So that's one of your top 3 that you are.
Okay.
On a normal basis, you will look after your friends more than you will look after yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, you need to look after yourself more than your friends.
Yeah. Okay.
You see the percentages.
Yeah.
And this year, which is unusual, you're usually about 60% the pioneer, and this year you're 88%. And what that is all about, business acumen for you. You may have a new idea that you want to go down, and you start thinking about it. It shows that you've got a better sense of judgment than you've had before.
Right. Okay.
This year.
Yeah.
And it also says, because I wrote this down, natural entrepreneur, I told you that earlier. But it's all, the main thing is that you have the ability to make really good decisions about your life this year.
Great.
You may have made bad decisions in the past, but now you're moving forward to good ones.
That's interesting, because I am actually keep your eyes open, guys, that do follow the show, because I am venturing into something new in the new year.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, it says it'll be successful. But you need to find out what day to launch it from me, because then you'll get a really good
Okay.
good thing out of it. So one more thing, each month we all have good things happen to us, or not so good things. And I have a large stable of retainer clients, and we talk each month about what they should do, especially businesses. Okay. Is this a month to make money? So you have money in your chart in February, around February the 4th. So if you were going to start your new company, or whatever you're going to do, I would say you start to start it then. Yeah.
Okay. Then
here it shows you get indirect wealth. So whatever you're going to do, see if there's a product that you can sell with whatever you're doing, because you'll make indirect wealth off that.
Okay. Yeah. That's really interesting, because I'm actually speaking at an event that says March the 6th, I think, from one.
Yeah, but that'll be from about February that will be most of March.
Yeah, so the first weekend in March,
and it goes into April.
Speaking at an event where I'm going to be promoting some of my online stuff, so that could work out. That would work really well. So
that's what you would do. And then you can see it pops up again in July, and then there should be some big money there. So we're working towards that, and then whatever you're going to do, you go for the big bucks here. So you will start something, only something, and then launch into something big. Okay. Obviously, without talking to you, or recording rather, I can't go into that, because I can see other personal things in your charts going on. Okay. But in the meantime, you've got your date of birth, and it's metal rabbit. This year, financially, where it is, it's, I'm gonna use the word sickness. It's like something stopped you doing what you wanted to do, and you've had to go with it, and you've had to mend yourself to go and do it. Okay. But next year, the door opens and a door shuts, which is positive. And that means in whatever you're starting, I would start to see the revenue up really within the next 2 years. So next year you'll be starting, then within 2 years you'll start to make the revenue out of whatever you're doing. Okay. So we're talking here about wealth, which is something I do all the time. Yeah. Relationship. Relationship though is I don't know how you're going to take this. Relationship, your best relationship is actually with yourself, because this dog, goat, and rabbit are a triad. Okay. Yeah? So what happens is, in relationships with you, you like the idea, because all these animals are real sharing animals and kind animals, but you like your own space, because you're used to actually, that's where you feel safe. Right. Okay. But this little animal here, this rat, is like a party animal. So it goes out and does what it has to do, and make sure that everything's okay and everyone loves you. You've got 2 peach blossoms in your chart. Remember where I started with this, is if you've got peach blossoms in your chart, people can't help but wanting to be around you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's this little dog that goes, oh, I think I might like to stay in and watch TV today.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
know
that,
what
that
to go
does
out.
kind of describe me to a T, actually. I'm a little bit of a party animal at times, and then I'm very much, I very much like to stay at home and chill and, and keep myself to myself at the same time.
Yeah. So if we were talking about someone's chart here, and this animal was here, say that was one animal and this was another animal, what I do, or say this animal, the dog and the goat, I look at their charts. Do they get on? Yes, they do. Yeah. And what would they like to do to go out on a date? Well, my answer to that was, oh, do I really have to go out? Do I? Can we? Well, it's the first date, so I have to go out, don't I? Okay, where will I feel comfortable? Where will I feel comfortable? Well, maybe we'll start with a coffee somewhere, so I'm home in time, that I'm not out late and I can get back in. Yeah. But actually, maybe a country pub, that sort of thing, because it's got to be something where you feel secure. You couldn't just go into a wine bar for your first date. You could, because of this animal here, which is inside you. But if these two people were going out, they would be like, oh, right, okay. But you would be doing the talking here. This little goat would be the chattering one. And this dog would be waiting for someone to talk to it, because it's not sure what to say.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense as well.
So that's how it works. Yeah. But we all go through different stages of our lives, right? And at the moment, this is the stage of your life. So you came into the world at the age of 7, some come in at the age of 1. When they come in at the age of 1, it's usually that the Chinese say you're born the year you're born. So you're born at 1. And you were born, you didn't come into this world till you were 7. That meant you had quite a good childhood, as in that family around you, nothing traumatic really happened. Sometimes things happen when you're 2. So your life goes on in 10-year stages. So something major happened when you were 10, 27, 37, 47. And in your chart, for me, it says that you are suddenly more intuitional than you've ever been before. And you should follow your own intuition and you will get more of what you want rather than listening to people around you.
Right.
But I'll give you much more advice than that.
Yeah.
Each of these animals come with different things. See, when you were 17, you were a tiger. So you were out there, go out and get everything you wanted and that. Here, you probably were very family orientated. I don't want to say more
I think around about that age, 27, was when I really stopped clubbing and partying and started to kind of realize it wasn't something I wanted to do 3 or 4 times a week, and I needed to slow it down a bit. When I was 17, I was actually probably just at the beginning of my athletics career, so I was really out to be a success as an athlete then, so that might fit into where I was at 17.
Yeah, it was a good change. When you start to look at people's lives, you can actually see and pinpoint. I can pinpoint years, months, even days of where, and that's the beauty. This is why I love Chinese astrology and Bazi, because you can make difference by using exactly the same day. And that's why, and I'll keep bringing it back to Date Love Marry Avoid, but that's why when I wrote it, I'm sure someone's going to open it and go, oh, she's got that wrong. But when they read into the story of the person, of their characteristic, which is the idea, they will see, oh yeah, that is. But nothing's perfect in a relationship. I mean, some people really shouldn't be together, and they say opposites attract, but there'll be a reason you are attracted to.
Yeah, definitely. No, I completely agree.
So I will stop sharing this, but yes, it is very exciting for me. I can see lots of stuff going on here, and every year here things change for you. And these all mean different things, which I know. Right. So yeah, you've and I'll tell you something else. One more thing I noticed here: you were born under the moon, which means you come alive at night.
Yes, I'm definitely a night person, not
like a vampire, eh?
Not a morning person at all.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that.
Awesome. Thanks, Janine. That's great. I mean, I was surprised how in depth that all looked. And no wonder sort of you can get how you glean so much information about somebody. And hopefully we can come back to that chart another time and you can tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, I can't see everything on it, can I?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd like to know more. So kind of just really then about with the book, let's talk about the book is out on December the 8th.
Yes, it's on pre-order now.
So this show will actually go live after. So please do get hold of the book after, but the actual YouTube version will be live in time for the book launch.
Okay.
So if you're watching this now on YouTube, hello, and I'll put a link to how to get hold of the book in the notes on YouTube as well. So could you, again, because the book is called Date, Love, Marry and Avoid, could you give us just a very brief kind of example of one of each? So who do you think would be good to date?
All right, that's a hard one. Just on the spot. I should know.
Yeah, sorry, I threw you in it.
Okay, so let's start. Right, roosters should date dragons.
Okay.
The reason are roosters like the magic and the dragons bring the magic.
Right.
And they have a affinity with each other and have their backs to back. Tigers should be with pigs. This always sounds horrible. Oh, it's a pig. Tigers should be with pigs because tigers go out and get everything, yeah. And pigs are very kind and listeners. So when the tiger goes out and does his all roaring and comes back with everything goes, it's tired, yeah. And the pig realizes it and then looks after the tiger. So you have that sort of relationship.
Yeah.
Oxes, rats. Okay, so an ox by nature is, as I said, they're the sort of people that go out for a ploughman. They like to be outside. They are what their animals are, but they don't always have a lot to say. Or if they do say things, they say it so bluntly that the only animal that will, the main animal that will listen to them is a rat. Because rats are very vocal. You know, you've got a rat in your career, so you chat a lot. You have that ability to listen, which makes comfort for the ox. So that's how that works.
Right.
So you want to know who the dog gets on with best then?
Go on
then. The dog gets on with two animals, actually. It gets on with the tiger and the rabbit. The dog is the one that keeps them in order, that they need to come back to. Yeah.
Okay.
And they are really good. So they can go out and go out and get the fun stuff, bring it back to the dog, gets the dog to go out to play with the ball. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Whereas the rabbit, around you, brings family into you, brings friends. It's like the cuddly bear bit. Yeah. And will always make you feel comfortable. So that's how the book's written. And when I put avoid, because why did I call it Date, Love, Marry, Avoid? I don't know. It just sounded right.
It does sound
right. But I had to put avoid in. So dogs should avoid with absolute 100% dragons.
Right. Okay.
It's like putting
I'm not very good with the magic.
No, it's like putting you in a war zone or a thunderstorm. Dogs with dragons. Right. So next year is a dragon year. So my advice to you next year, I think it's April 5th through to May 6th, book yourself a holiday and chill.
Right, okay. and avoid dragons at all costs.
Avoid dragons. If you meet someone that's a dragon, just go, oh, no.
Right. I'm gonna have to get a little chart of all the years that people are born and check it out.
Get the book. Get the book. It's all in there.
I'm going to. It's it. I'm going to carry it with me everywhere.
Because although it's called Date, Love, Marry, Avoid, we assume it's about meeting somebody, isn't it? But also, we all have our nucleus of friends around us. Yeah. And I remember I was in the pub the other day and someone came in and I was talking really nicely to this person and they just took over the whole conversation. I knew what animal they were and I thought, do I say something? I thought, no. So it's family. You know, we don't always get on with our family. Sometimes we absolutely love our cousins and that sort of thing. So you can see your relationship with other people, with your friends and family, and also in your career. You know, I have a VA, I have a social media, yeah, and I've taken them on because they're both tigers.
Right, okay. Because
they are out there to go and get what they want. Okay. So you can use people in different ways.
Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye out for some tigers then.
Tigers seem like the ones for you.
Hello, tiger. Excellent. So coming back to you a little bit is
Uh-oh.
uh, relationships and you, how significant are they in your life, and how
Okay. So one of the reasons I wrote the book was I get married frequently. I have to tell you, I've been engaged 8 times and married 3 times.
does that make you a rooster then? Was it you
It
said?
does. But not just one rooster. I
Right.
have 2.
You have 2.
Yeah. So my chart is I'm born in the year of the rooster, the month of the rooster, the day of the monkey, and the hour of the rat.
Right.
So a lot of Chinese people, if they know that, they know exactly what's happening to me. So I have 3 peach blossoms, and you know, I used to be a DJ. I've been many things. I own a restaurant, etc. And so I've always been out there, and yeah, I'm lucky enough that men just
Gravitate towards you.
yeah, let's use that word. But because I learned the Chinese astrology, I learned more about myself, because we always think we know ourselves, but we don't. And so all the last repeat men that have asked me to marry, I said no.
Right, okay.
And I now have been living by myself with my furry family, 5 cats rescued and a dog, because I'm not very good at being married. But I know, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I date and everything, but I don't want to be in the committed. I am in a relationship, but I'm not like it. I know if I get married, it'll be done.
Right, okay.
Because roosters don't like being tied down.
Right, okay. So they like the idea of kind of being connected and having that relationship, and can maybe be a little bit impulsive on that front, but it's not something that suits them at all.
No.
Right.
When I think when my mum and dad came to my 3rd marriage, oh no.
As long as they weren't paying for the 3rd one, I guess.
No.
We're running out of your wedding fund.
Well, I don't know if they pay for the first one, but the interesting thing is I always go and look for people if they've got roosters, because I know immediately that it's just they want to be married. They understand it. And I say date, love, marry, avoid came from this interest into why am I, what is it with me? So I delved really hard into, and then obviously I've got friends around me and family. And so the book is not just a whimsical book. It's been really looked into, and it started from me.
Right.
Obviously, learning from Joey Yap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it is an interesting thing to see. When I was writing the Rooster, it was so hard. When you write about yourself,
that's really introspective, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it really took some writing the Rooster.
Yeah.
In fact, I had to go to a book coach to help me, because I just couldn't write it.
I
wrote it, but then I needed to that sort of thing.
I
So
personalize it a bit, maybe.
Yeah,
so you'd be good to date in your list of the 4 in the space that you're in now.
Yeah, I'm good at dating. I'm good at loving. Just not good at marrying.
Yeah. and people don't want to avoid you.
It seems that way. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I get flowers. I go into a garage to put petrol in my car, and someone come up with flowers, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. You know, it's been a life path. But I think that, you know, one of the loveliest animals, and you've actually got it in your chart, is a goat. And goats they're called yin energy. And it's a female energy, and they're the sort of person that you want in your corner. For me, they're quite sage. They have good advice, and they are kind people. And if anyone, I'm saying this out loud now, but if anyone was to be nasty to a goat, they're a fool, because they would give you their world. And that's what I think people need to know about people's characters. They often take people at top surface without actually seeing who people truly are underneath. You know, it's a very disposable world nowadays, I find.
Yeah, I think so too, unfortunately.
And I think there's so much more to people. It's just people just do not get around to watching, or not watching. Yeah, they watch, but they don't see what's underneath. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, most definitely. I think you need to, for you to be in the kind of best relationship possible, you need to be willing to look underneath, don't you? I think that's where I've struggled a lot in the relationships, is because I think that I do have a very feminine energy part.
Yeah.
And I think it is, I'm not sure, I think it's, I wouldn't use the word abused, but I think it is taken advantage of.
Oh yeah.
And people, and then I think you get to that point which you said earlier on, where there's only so much of that I can then give, you know, and be in that giving space before I go, actually, I'm just not doing that anymore.
Yeah, but they will have pushed every button for you to get there.
Yeah,
trust me. Goats always see the other side of everyone else's things. There's been some really, I'm pretty certain, Virgin guy, Branson, I think he's a goat. So they rise through the ranks because they'll always see another opportunity, which you've got, you know. And I'm not just talking about relationships, I'm talking about business as well. You see another opportunity, and I think this is something, you know, people need to know about the person that they're with. And like, with you being a goat, you know, you would buy a house together or whatever you try to do, and you would try and make the house really comfortable and homely and that whole thing. And then I think sometimes what happens is with goats is that they make the homely thing, and then someone goes, yeah, but you know, what are we supposed to be doing now? You know, it gets, you know, should we not be going out like we used to go out or whatever? And yet that's what they want, and then they want to change goats. This is my thing, because it is female energy. You wouldn't argue with the tiger.
And you said I'm quite suited to be dating tigers as well. So
yeah, you would be good to date with tigers, but they would know you for what they are. They might go out and get the bacon or whatever, and you'd make the home. But remember, you're made up of two other animals, which shows that you'll go out and do it. But yeah, a tiger needs to come home to a goat. It needs to come home, because they are the ones that are out there, and they use all their energies. Tigers use all their energies going out, providing, hunting, or whatever you want to do. When they come home, they're like, they want the beautiful house. You know, a lot of tigers that I know, their house is really all about them. You know, like pictures are unusual, everything's like that. So there's an awful lot of I don't even think word exceeds deepness about things, but everybody has a certain thing. We all have qualities. We've all got negative things. Rooster's impulsive. Roosters are just impulsive. Oh, I like that. My partner, he said, I wanted to buy a car, and it was an auspicious day. Wanted to change it to this Range Rover. Saw the Range Rover, went to the Range Rover garage, and the car I saw was right over there behind all the other cars. And I said, I want that. And he's like, the salesman's like, we've got 3 others here, Janine. Why have you got to have that? I was just like, just get it out. It's not gonna work unless she gets it. And he said, as soon as you touch the car and got in it, he said, I knew you were gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's just that is my personality. And if you can accept as a partner, oh well, that's what she does, but she does other nice things.
Well, that's not a bad thing though, is it? Being impulsive necessarily.
No, it's not, but I was like, oh my goodness, that kitten needs saving. Another one coming.
Not a bad thing. Save the kitten.
Save the kitten. I know. My little cat, which is now called Cat, last Christmas, I passed it a couple of times. I thought, oh, that cat doesn't look like it's got a home. It's about 6 months old. Asked around there and said, oh no, it's done by there. Then on New Year's Eve, someone rang me and said it's limping. That was it. Cage. Okay. Up to the vets. And no chip, not owned. Still here. And its name's Cat.
Yes. Bless you. Yeah, all the cats I've ever had are all rescue animals as well. So. Yeah.
Haven't we? We've got to.
Definitely. And maybe sometimes that's a bit impulsive as well. But if people want to get hold of the book, if they want to reach out to you and find out more about themselves and how you can help them.
Yes. Help them have good relationships and make money.
Yeah. How can they do that?
Right. So my book is Date, Love, Marry, Avoid. It's on Amazon out December the 8th. You can actually get it off of Amazon now with pre-order, and it's not that long to wait. It's been out on pre-order for about 6 months, because that's what they do. Okay. And it made #1 hot release in astrology when it came out.
Nice.
So and then if you want to contact me, just put Janine Lowe in Google and it comes up with, or Janine Lowe Feng Shui, and I just pop up all over the show.
What is your website for people that want to get...
www.janinelowe.com.
Lovely. Thank you. That will be in the notes, both on the YouTube channel, as I said, because this is more of a visual episode of the Relationship Guy. We will have this on the YouTube channel, and a link to that will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for your time,
It's
Janine.
been fun.
Pleasure.
Thank you for playing along with me.
No, absolutely. I was so excited about talking to you today, and I looked at my diary this morning and thought, oh, Janine, I can't wait. Yeah, and good luck with the book.
Thank you.
I've read some of it. It is a great read. So do get yourself a copy, and I will get the rest of my chart off of you soon. Hopefully.
Thank you, Dave.
Take care.
All right. Bye.